Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Woo, 2021. Welcome. I'm Amber Salenbier of Knots Untied Within, and this is my co-host for our Monday show, Holly Pitus.
Yes, hi, I'm Holly, and I am a certified emotion code practitioner, and I'm actually working on my certification for body code too. So thank you so much for joining us today. Kicking off the first Monday of this new year, we're talking about plans and goals for the new year. And so we were having a little bit of a discussion before we started, and the discussion was a little bit about, do we have a specific goal that's sort of like a hard goal, or do we have an intention and sort of a flow of a way that we're going to try to go? And Amber's idea of having the intention and the flow is probably a better idea, especially if we think back to a year ago when we all had our good goals for 2020, and then the universe took over and just gave us something different. So I do think, all in all, just to seal up 2020, there was still good things that happened. I think there was a lot of self-enrichment that people were able to do, and just a reevaluation of their lives. And for some people, I think that turned out very well. Lots of people I know had lots and lots of hardship last year. And so it's a tough way to grow. But we're here on a positive note, looking forward to this year.
Absolutely. I'm very excited. So have you set a 2021 goal or intention or something that you would like to strive for this current year? Because we would certainly love to help you release any emotions that may be stopping, blocking, resisting, and get you better into alignment and flow with a new goal. So let's take, for example, you want to grow your business. Well, what is one goal that you can achieve in order to grow your business? Maybe you want to be more visible on social media. Fantastic goal. But, do you have any limiting beliefs that maybe you're have a limiting belief of being visible. Maybe you have limiting beliefs of creating content. So it's, if you get as specific as you can towards the goal. So let's say, I want to lose weight. Well, that's a pretty broad goal. But what are some attainable goals that you can reach, such as, I want to lose 5 pounds, 10 pounds this year. Okay, so what we're going to do is make sure that your beliefs are all in order, make sure you're aligned, make sure there's nothing blocking, stopping you from reaching that goal. Because as we know, emotions are a huge part in achieving those goals or striving for those goals. Putting something big and broad out there, like, I want to grow my business, but we have all of these little things that is blocking us from doing that, is going to self-sabotage us.
Yes. And so, speaking of growing our businesses, today is episode number 25, which is exciting for Amber and I. We weren't sure what our live presentation was really going to be or how it was going to be. And we were like, well, let's just try it. And so we have been here every Monday since July, 25 weeks ago. And so I am very pleased with. We have conversations about that afterwards, about how did the show go and things like that. And I think for both of us, in terms of wanting to build upon our practices of being emotion code, body code practitioners and help as many people as we possibly can, that I think we're unified in feeling that doing these Facebook Lives is a really nice way to reach out and let people know that we're available, and that we would really love to be able to work not only this way, but also more one-on-one with people. There's a lot that can be done. There's a lot that can be done on a one-on-one focused session that we just don't have time for on this kind of a venue.
Absolutely. So if you're tuning in, we want to say welcome. Let us know who you are, where you're coming from. And if you'd like to volunteer, we just need 2 things. One is give us permission. We went into your house without permission. We're not going to to enter your energy field, which is what we're doing, because I don't think we actually talked about what it is that we're doing. And two, be very specific on what that goal is that you would like to achieve. Because when we tap into your energy and your subconscious, we can get very specific as to what that goal is and clear whatever blockages we can. So what is this? What is the emotion code? So the emotion code is a energy healing modality that was created by Dr. Bradley Nelson, who is a retired holistic chiropractor. And as he saw clients come through his brick and mortar, he noticed that they weren't getting better. And when he did more investigating, when he did more research and learning, he realized that at the bottom of it all were emotions. These emotions get released from the different organs, according to Chinese medicine, and travel through the energy field, either getting stuck, staying within the space of which they were created, or being released. And since we all know from quantum physics and quantum mechanics is that we are all energy. Everything around us is energy and vibration. And so these emotions are vibration and energy that get released, get created. Say anger gets created by the liver and gallbladder. It has one of three options. It's going to stick with the liver and gallbladder. It's going to be released when we really feel into that anger, or it's going to travel the body and now it's stuck somewhere in your body, which is causing you to not be able to reach your goals, which is causing physical pain, which is causing different havoc within our physical bodies from our energy centers. So I just want to take some time to say hi to Summer. Summer says we all love positive notes. She wants to fall in love with exercise. That's her ultimate fitness goal. And to exercise 5 hours a day consistently. That's perfect. Fatima is here. Good morning, Fatima. Judy Hall says, good afternoon. First Facebook Live with you ladies. Well, welcome. We love hearing that.
Yeah, very exciting. But wanting to fall in love with exercise, that's a really good goal. And that's I think that's very clear also because although it's not specific on a specific exercise, that's good because nobody wants to do the same exercise day after day after day. You need weights, you need walking, you need walking on a treadmill, you need, running, maybe playing racquetball or just dancing in your living room. So any of that is movement, which is really good. And I think I sadly heard from someone who got up and went to the gym proud. I got a text. So they went on New Year's Day morning. And then the next text was, this will probably be over within a week. And it's like, well, all right, that's pretty self-defeating. So already she's setting herself up for self-sabotage, for failure. And instead of trying to find those blocks and power through it and say, all right, is it a lack of belief? Is it, the fear of success? Is it, I feel like I'm trapped in a failure loop. So my expectation or my vibration is failure. So yeah, I'll do this so that I can fulfill my expectation and just chalk it up as one more thing that I failed at. And that's a pretty sad way to approach things. So I think even with that desire to add more exercise, then, where's the little ticks off, the checkoffs in your head of, oh, okay, I took the long way down to the mailbox today instead of the short and swift mailbox, or, parking a little bit further parking lot if you're going into if you're working in an office or even just vacuuming in your house, it's like that's all movement and you can chalk all of that up to exercise.
Absolutely. I think it's important to do something that you love though. I know that when I tried to do what everyone else said, you should take up running because running does this, or you should do whatever this exercise is, like your friend, it only lasts, going to the gym only lasts so long. So I really have to dig inside of me as to what is it that I love? And I think it goes back to what did you love to do when you were a child, right? What are the things that we've given up on that maybe we can incorporate back into our lives? The things that it doesn't matter what everybody else thinks, that we had, I watch my 5-year-old and I'm like, I wonder what he's doing for fun. And, try chasing around a 5-year-old all day and doing the exact stuff that he does. Whoa, you're gonna burn calories because that kid does not sit still. But he just breaks out into dance randomly. We finish supper and he's like, "Oh, I finished my supper," and he'll like break out into dance, or, and I'm like, maybe I should go back to and try and remember what my childhood was like and bring out those things, or, my teenage years, or even as an adult, what are those things that I really like? Because when you're doing things that you really love, time flies and it doesn't feel like exercise. It doesn't feel like this chore, and we're not setting ourselves up for failure. We're setting ourselves up for success.
Exactly. And I think that those same principles can be applied to other things. If it's, we're talking a lot about exercise, but if we are talking again about being successful in a business, or, being a more successful parent, practicing a musical instrument, keeping your house clean, any of those little things, you need to continually find those moments actually of where you're doing it. I know I saw a thing on the internet where they said, don't disregard a 5-minute clean. That, sometimes you think, I was raised actually at a time when you had a day. Saturday was the day you cleaned the house. So the laundry got done, the house got cleaned, and it went to a big mess for the rest of the week. You just collected it. But then on Saturday, you cleaned everything. And so trying to keep up instead of catch up is actually a better way to approach it. Sometimes hard to do in the moment because you think, oh, it's just 5 minutes, but you have 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. And at the end of the day, you might have put in a half an hour or an hour and a half. And those little 5-minute sweeps can make a big difference. And I think that those can also be applied to business too, whether it's the 5-minute phone call, the 5-minute dance for exercise, enriching a friendship by 5 minutes on a text. Gee, maybe that'll be our theme this year, Amber. We'll do, the year in 5-minute increments.
Why not? But it's true. If you sat there and you're like, okay, I've got to clean my house, for example, one of my goals is to declutter my house. Well, that's huge. Okay. So you've got this big daunting task, right? Which can, to some, may seem very daunting, or whatever that looks like for you. But then if you put it into micro goals, right? And promise yourself, commit to 1 minute a day, 1 minute a day towards that goal. First of all, that 1 minute is going to go very fast. Second of all, if you can commit to that 1 minute, you probably want to keep going a little further, right? But you're not promising yourself further. You're promising yourself that 1 minute every day, that 1 minute, 2-3 times a week, just 1 minute, because we can all commit to 1 minute of something. And then when you can get through that, those are those very micro goals that, expand. And the next thing you know, the room is clean, the dishes are done, this is done. And you're like, oh, I did it. And the most important thing is to pat yourself on the back, because that's the thing that we don't do, is pat ourselves on the back and congratulate ourselves and bring ourselves up so that we do move forward. So we've got some... Cassia saying, hello, everyone. Judy Hall says, I give you my permission. My goal is to mend my relationship with my sister. Fatima says, sure, need to start with what we love. I've had people say to me, Zumba is not good. Well, I love it. It's true, Fatima, that, Zumba may not be everyone's thing, right? But it's finding that thing that you love, and you love to do Zumba, which is why you try to share it with everyone. Just like for us, people may not be into emotion code and energy healing, but that's what we love to do, right? So it's really taking that time. I challenge everyone who is watching this to really take that time, put some, music on, meditate, and go ask yourself, what is it that I really love to do? Because when you can find those things that you really love to do and build on that, that's where the happiness begins. That's where you find your joy again, is doing the things that we love to do. Judy says, I've been working with Theta Healing as well, and we are working on this. Brilliant. Vanessa says, I give my permission. I would like to lose 10 to 15 pounds. Summer says, don't listen to them. Zumba is fantastic. It is fun and enjoyable. It is. It is fun and enjoyable. It's a different way. Like, you're not sitting there and you're having to do these exercises. You're just you're moving your body, which is lots of fun.
It's true. And I think one of the other things is don't define it by someone else's definition. So some people might say, okay, you want to have the prescribed Zumba. Well, some other people might want to do tango or waltzing or just put on any kind of music. Some people want to get a little trampoline and jump or a hula hoop or belly dance or any of those. And so I think that, again, it's all just movement. The same thing with meditation. I know that's a lot of people pressure themselves to do it correctly. And I think that there's, again, different things. So you can, sit in your sacred space and have a candle and, certain music and all of that and really try to be pure about your meditation. And other people want to go for a walk or want to go for a run or just want to sit and have a cup of tea and turn off the phone and just sort of have this kind of blue sky moment, or again too, if you think about adding more play to your life, and if you were a kid that was able to lie on your back on the grass outside and look at the clouds and just do that daydreaming of all of that wild and wonderful imagination. And, at that time, again, all of it felt so possible, whatever it is you could daydream. And so I think, as adults, we just shut that part of ourselves off. So then again, it's shutting ourselves off from our goals. We can't imagine that we can actually lose that 15 pounds, or we can't imagine that we can build our business or say double our business from whatever it is, or start a business, change a job, what have you. So I think adding your own self-approval of whatever your approach is.
Absolutely. Give yourself permission. I think we struggle with that a lot, is to give ourselves permission just to be, meditation, like Holly said, doesn't have to be huge. It means getting out of your own head, get out of those thoughts. And when you can silence those thoughts, whether it's going for a walk and just being, have coffee, fantastic. All right. So do you have anybody that you'd like to work on, or would you like me to?
Well, you can assign someone to me. So again, where no longer able to see my comments. I don't know why that is, but where I view us and watch for comments, it has now shut itself down. So,
that's nuts.
So I'm looking at a little black screen.
Welcome to 2021, where comments are. Technology is never with us. All right, why don't you work on Summer and for her to exercise 5 hours a week consistently? I will work on the next person, which is Judy, and her goal is to mend her relationship with her sister. And we've got Vanessa, who wants to work on losing 10 to 15 pounds. Fatima wants to stop putting so much stuff on her plate before finishing one thing. So yeah, we've got lots of volunteers today, which is fantastic.
Yeah, so we can, I'm happy to work with Summer, and so I can go ahead and do that. And then, because I see we only have about 9 minutes left, so maybe you could pick one person.
I'm going to work on
all right, Summer.
Judy for now, and I'll go ahead and explain what it is that I'm doing. So what is it that we do? We connect to people's energy through muscle testing, because the body doesn't lie. And we ask different questions to get yes or no answers. And we have a chart of emotions that we use to get to the root. So what happens is, what is blocking, stopping you from achieving your goal? Or, what are those limiting beliefs that are blocking you? Emotions are at the root, right? We've gone through a lifetime of different emotions. And if we have an emotion every second of the day, then those emotions are blocking our flow to get into alignment, whatever it is that we want to create. Most of the time it's because somebody else has said something to us, put some sort of programming into us that makes us feel like we're not good enough, that we don't deserve, we don't belong. So my name is Judy. My name is Judy. So I'm connected to Judy's energy. My name is Amber. So my name is Judy. So my conscious mind is just talking about mending my relationship with my sister. How many emotions are blocking, stopping, resisting me from getting in contact with my sister and mending that relationship and, you know, having nothing but positive thoughts towards her? 1 A B odd 1 3 5 1 2. Releasing creative insecurity. So creative insecurity is huge because it is the untrusting of oneself in order to create, or the development of literally anything, that you don't feel secure enough in yourself to create, which, you know, especially when it comes to, say, mending a relationship, that would be a huge block. So then I take my hand and I swipe it over my meridian to release that emotion. So we've brought that emotion to the surface, kind of like a bubble coming to the surface. And I release it by instructing the meridians to release that energy. Is there any trapped, hidden, odd, even 2 4 1? Releasing hidden anger and absorbed. Releasing absorbed shame. So that's somebody else's emotion that you may have trapped within your body. And either you're going to take it on, or you're going to try and try not to feel that with everything in your body. Is there any inherited? Is there any vibrational resonance? Releasing the vibrational resonance of crying. Any psychic trauma and prenatal? Any trauma energy, squirt energy? Do I have a heart wall with my sister? How many? Releasing the heart wall of frustration. So heart wall is an energetic wall that we put up that has usually an emotion that, you know, is triggered. So, you know, for example, in this case, let's say the sister did something that was frustrating. You took that frustration and created a wall to block that relationship. So before today, what was the severity of my struggle to reach out and mend my relationship with my sister? 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and now it's 10 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. 1. What am I missing? Is there any trapped, hidden, absorbed, inherited, vibrational resonance, psychic trauma, prenatal, any hidden trauma, absorbed trauma? 2 1 A B odd even 2 4 1 2. Releasing the absorbed trauma of or sadness. Is there any 10 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 0? So there you go, Judy. That will help at least take that layer off, which might, will release some of that heaviness in relation to that relationship. But it won't, everything is done in layers, right? So we've cleared that layer off, but there's probably more layers that as you continue to clear those layers, the way that you think about your sister, the way that you feel towards her, all of that stuff that you're holding on, especially if there's some sort of experience between you two, negative experience or negative trauma or whatever, as we clear the layers, then that relationship on your end you'll start to feel differently about it. But right now there's all of this stuff in layers that is blocking that from you to do that. So let me know how you're doing. I am going to work on Vanessa next. So my name is Vanessa. My name is Vanessa. So my conscious mind would like to lose 10 to 15 pounds. Is there anything blocking, stopping, resisting me from achieving that weight or losing that weight or coming close to losing that weight? How many emotions? Releasing depression? Is there any hidden, absorbed? Releasing absorbed anger? Is there any inherited vibrational resonance? Releasing conflict? Any psychic trauma, any prenatal, any trauma energy, any discordant energy? Is there a core negative belief? Odd, even 2, 4, 6, 1. Releasing the core negative belief of I am guilty. Is there a heart wall? No. So now, is there anything blocking, stopping, resisting me from losing the 10 to 15 pounds that I would like to lose? Was there before, and now is there? So Vanessa, I've cleared at least the first layer. As I said, healing is done in layers, especially with something like weight loss. There's multiple layers. Because there's a lot. Weight loss has to do with protection. So gaining weight has to do with protection and how the subconscious feels like, what weight it feels like it's at. Like there's so much stuff that comes into losing weight. It's why a lot of people yo-yo, for example, because the subconscious wants you at this weight and it feels safe at this weight because of traumas that have happened to you or things that have happened to you in your life. It wants to protect you. And so keep taking off the layers and really investigating into those emotions as to why does our subconscious want us to be that weight? What are the things that are blocking, stopping us? And I know both Holly and I do different programs, especially for weight loss, to help people really clear those emotional blockages and all of the things that are in the way from you reaching your goals, whether you eat emotionally, whether you have some sort of, I go in through all of the meridians and the organs and stuff like that to get them up to 100%, to make sure that your metabolism is running at 100%, to make sure that you are in alignment with reaching your goals. So that's definitely an option if you want to book a consultation with either one of us. Just trying to get through everybody here.
Yeah, so I've been working on Summer this whole time. So Summer, there's a pretty strong resistance to actually fulfilling your goal of working out for 5 hours a week. And so I think I cleared a lot, including a heart wall that you have with yourself in terms of disbelief that you could do it, and that there's some self-anger and worry and things like that. So even though I'm naming these big emotions, if you're not really comfortable with all of the definitions of the words for the emotion code, although the word can be very big, anger and things like that, or self-delusionment, stuff like that, it's really just that emotion. So don't tag anything onto the word that I have used. But if for some reason, you just could have in passing felt that, and could have been, just looking at a magazine or watching a movie or somebody that walked past you. So we just never really know how it is that we take these emotions on. But I would think that as you're going through your day and you want to exercise, I think you can maybe go a little bit easy on yourself and consider, like, suppose you're going to, drive to the gym and then work out and then drive back home. I would count the time that you are literally walking from the parking lot into the gym and all of your movement during the day. And, maybe if you are, waiting for your little coffee pot to cook its coffee or your tea water to boil or something, do some movement in there and make sure you're adding up all of those moments. Because if you're thinking, wait a minute, I have to go heavy hard on the treadmill for an hour, I think that's a hard goal to achieve for most people. And then what happens is we have this giant goal in front of us, and then something happens. I mean, what happens if you do have to drive to the gym and then your car breaks down? It's like, well, okay, so that was a little bit out of your control, but it can completely throw off your expectation. And then what happens is people beat themselves up, and it's just hard. So do join us next week. Tell us how you're doing, but make sure you're counting all of these really good things, and be thankful for your body too, for any little exercise that you do, or just be glad that you can get up out of a chair and walk across the room, assuming that you can do so. So, yes. And so as Amber was talking, we both have a lot of different programs that we can each offer. And so although we're doing a short demonstration here, and we're hoping that you're finding value in it, working one-on-one with us, we can go so much deeper and really target specifically for you. So, and one of the things that's a little bit of a disadvantage is that, Summer, I can't see your comments. And so I don't know if you felt anything during my work on you, or if there are some more targeted questions that I could ask you to help steer me into the way that I would approach using the emotion code with you. So, or even just the whether it be a question of, am I on target, or even just being able to say, okay, well, I got something at a certain age. Does this make sense to you? And like I said, this system is the best we have right now, but it's a little bit imperfect trying to work with being live on our pages with Facebook. So I do wish you lots of luck with it, and I'm sure that you're going to be definitely achieving your goals. So,
Summer says she knows that Damn
so-
Resistance has 23 million layers.
Right, good. Okay, well then.
So,
yeah,
I have been busy over here. I have cleared, where did I start? I started with Vanessa with her goal of releasing weight. I worked on Cassia and released her resistance to completing all the subjects on her studies. Then I went to Fatima's house and worked on her need for putting so much on her plate. And then I ended with Anita to whatever came up that was blocking, stopping, resisting her from keeping her space cluttered free. So I was able to work on everyone so far on my list that I was able to complete for today. So we thank you so very much for being here. We are so grateful for all of you showing up and putting yourselves first. I'm live again on Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on my page, Knots Untied Within. Otherwise, we will see you next Monday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time right here on our page. And we are doing goals again. So if you know anyone who is setting goals for 2021, we would certainly love to work on them and help them clear whatever resistance is coming up to help them achieve their goals.
Terrific. So we will see you next week, and you can find Amber at Knots Untied Within, and you can find me, Holly Pitus, at Get Feeling Better, both.com, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. So thank you so much.
See you next time, guys.